Hey guys, we have this Kenmore 400 series dryer. It's a front loader dryer, and basically the issue with this particular dryer is when I switch on the dryer, the drum is not rotating and it is making the humming sound. Let me show you how exactly it is making the sound. So as you see, it's just making the humming sound. It is not starting, or drum is not rotating. So I just thought that why not, when I'm fixing this one, I will create a video which will help people to understand that how exactly this dryer works. Now this particular dryer has a drum, which is this drum, and this drum is rotating because of this belt, which is getting the power from the dryer drive motor. And this drum is resting on these two pulleys. This is rear drum support roller 1 pulley and rear drum support roller 2, and this belt goes through this idler pulley, or it is also called as the tension pulley. Now there are a couple of things could have gone wrong in this particular dryer, and that's why it is not the drum is not rotating. The first thing is that the belt is broken, right? And there is no power to drive this drum. That is one possibility, or the belt is worn out, and the easiest solution for that is basically just replace the drum. The second possibility, that these rear drum rollers are not rolling, or they are not freely moving, and because of that this drum is also not rotating, or there is some issue with the idler pulley. If everything is good, that is the belt is good, the drum rear drum support roller 1 and roller 2 is also good, and they are moving freely, and there is no issue with the idler pulley also, then definitely there is a problem with the dryer drive motor, right? In my case, I am suspecting it is mostly the dryer drive motor is the issue, and I am going to replace that motor. And the reason why I'm saying that, because recently I replaced the solenoid in this particular dryer, because the flame was not coming and it was not heating. You could watch that video on my YouTube channel. At that time I inspected the belt, dryer, rear drum support rollers and idler pulley, and everything was good. So I am suspecting that this time it is the dryer drive motor which is kind of a culprit. But I just thought that I will cover everything step by step. That is so that anyone can use this for their DIY repair. So first thing first, so we have to open this dryer so that we can access the belt, drum, roller, motor, idler pulley and so on. So first thing what we have to do is we have to remove this filter like this, and then you will see there are two screws are there, number 1, number 2. Using the forehead screwdriver, remove these screws. Very easy. Just make sure that and be careful that you are not going to drop these screws in the channel or exhaust pipe. So once that is done, we are going to remove this top cover by using the putty knife. There are two hooks over here, one over here and one over here. I will show you that one, and that will allow us to lift this entire top of the dryer, and it will expose the dryer. So I will show you that one. So let's start with the first step, that is removing these two screws. Now we have to remove this top cover, and for that I'm taking this putty knife. So there are two clips somewhere over here, and these two clips we have to detach from the drum body. So you just take the putty knife and feel for that clip. So as you see that there is one clip over here, and just give a push, and while giving the push, pull this drum body upwards, or drum cover upwards, and as you see it came out. And the same thing you have to do it over here. So there is a second clip is over here. So push this putty knife and pull the cover or top cover towards you, or like this. You have to give little bit of push, and as you see, it came out. Now you have to rest this entire cover on the back side. Now in my case, I don't have enough space over here. If I show you, I cannot push this top cover on the back side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the elastic rope over here and hook it up on the back side so that this cover won't fall on me when I'm working. And this is what I've done. I use the elastic rope to keep this entire top cover like this. Now I have the access to the entire this drum, and I can inspect the belt drum, but in our case we have to go further, and for that now we have to remove this front cover. And to remove this front cover, on each side on the back of here, over here, one over here and one over here, there are two screws are there. If I show you, this is the first screw, and then there is a second screw over here. So using the nut driver, remove that screw. So this is the nut driver, and I remove this screw. So as you see, I'm just removing this screw. So the first screw is already out. So this is the first screw. Now I'll do the same thing. Now I'll do the same thing on the second screw also. I'll remove the second screw too. And second screw is also out. So now these two screws are out. Now we have to detach this door from the drum body, or not door, the front panel from the drum body. And for that, first what we are going to do is we are going to detach this wire harness. So for that you need the flathead screwdriver to remove this wire harness. Now to detach this wire harness, take the flathead screwdriver and unhook this clip over here, just like this, and the wire harness will come out. And that's how we have detached the wire harness. Now this entire front cover is free, and you have to just remove it. And as you see that because of this removal of the wire harness, it started coming out. But let me show you how exactly you can remove this without making any damage. So now hold this drum and push it on the back side, and this is the cover which is going to come out. So you have to just lift it like this, and it will come out from the two hooks at the bottom. I'll show you those two hooks also. But now the front panel is free from the drum body. On each side of the dryer body, there are two hooks. One is this hook, and the similar hook is on the second side, that is this second hook. These hooks are sitting or getting engaged in this slot, and because of that, this entire front panel was tied to the dryer body. So while installing it back, we have to match this hook with this slot when we are going to install it back, once we are done with the diagnosis and fix the dryer. And this is how it looks underneath the dryer. This is the idler pulley which I was referring earlier. Then if you see on the back side over there, that one is the right side support pulley for the drum, and this belt is going through this idler pulley and through this motor, and this is the motor which we are going to replace in case if it has gone bad. And for that now, to remove this drum or disengage this drum from the body of the dryer, we have to push this idler pulley little bit and remove this belt. I hope I will be able to show you very nicely. As you see, or you can just do something like this also, and once it has some kind of a wiggle, just remove it. So I'm just going to give some push to this idler pulley like this, and which will allow me to remove this belt. Just be careful because it is under high tension and there is a probability that you may get hit by that idler pulley or belt. So once the belt is removed, now we are pretty much freed up this entire drum from the body of the dryer. Now take this belt and lift this drum and remove this drum from the body like this, just like that. And the easy way for doing that one is just keep an eye on these notches. So basically if you keep it straight, it will come out very easily without any problem. Now once you remove the drum, you will see this type of setup which I showed you earlier in the picture. So this one is the left side supporting pulley, and this one is the right side supporting pulley. This one is the motor, this one is the tension retainer pulley, and the belt was around this particular motor area over here. Now first thing we are going to do is we are going to inspect these rollers, and for that it's very simple inspection. Just see that these rollers are rotating nicely when you give the push, and this one is rotating very nicely, and same thing for this one also. When I am giving the push, they are rotating freely without any problem. So as such, in my case there is no problem with this roller or this roller. But since I have already ordered the new rollers with the belt, because usually this pack of when you order the belt comes with the two rollers and the pulley, tensioner pulley. So let me show you. So this is the new pulley, support pulley. These are the two new support pulleys, and this is the tension roller. So as you see, it is exactly same as the old roller, and it also comes with the retainers, plastic retainers as well as the metal retainer. And they also, some of the manufacturer, some of the sellers, they sell these door lock also. So in my case, as such, there is no need of replacing these rollers, but since I have already ordered these rollers, I'm going to replace these old rollers with the new rollers. So replacing these rollers is very simple. As you see over here, there is a metal retainer clip. So you have to just remove this metal retainer clip using the flathead screwdriver. Once you remove that, you will have the access to the roller. For that, but before removing the roller, you have to remove this plastic retainer clip also. Now for the left one, you have to remove this first by removing this screw and this screw, because it is this particular roller is obstructed by this particular support. So let me remove those clips and show you that how exactly the rollers can be removed. And then once the rollers are replaced, we will just go for the removal of this motor to replace with the new motor. Now the old pulley is out, so let's replace remove this retainer also, since we have the new retainers. So I'm just going to remove this one. It's a good idea to lubricate these rollers, since we have already opened this dryer. So I usually use this silicone lubricant. If you see over here, Blaster silicone lubricant. I just put this into the small container, or not container, a small, and that's it, this much. And take the, just put little bit of over here on both the sides, and as you see, this will help rotating the pulley very nicely. Not much is required, but same thing I will do it for the other side also. Now next step in this repair process is removing of this motor, and for that, if you pay close attention, there is one retainer clip in front and double side retainer clip, little bigger on the back side. The way this retainer clip works is that there is a notch, and this retainer clip is locked into that notch. So basically what you have to do is you have to take the flathead screwdriver, push this clip down and then outward. Once again, push down and outward, and you will be able to remove this retainer clip. Remember that this is under tension, so you have to be a little bit careful. And the same thing, same approach, we have to do it on the back side also. As you see over there, this is where you are going to put the flathead screwdriver, pull down, push down, and then on this side, that is away from the motor, and this clip will come out. So this clip and this clip, that is the first step we have to do. But before doing that one, I'm just going to remove this wire harness, and removing this wire harness is very easy. This is locked over here, so just use little bit pressure and it will come out very nicely. As you see, it is just sitting over there, and you should be able to remove the wire harness like that. Now let's remove this first retainer, and for that, as I mentioned earlier, this retainer is locked in this slot. So take the flathead screwdriver, push this flathead screwdriver down first and then away from the retainer. So down and away from the retainer, and you will be able to remove that like this. So this is under tension, so just make sure that you are careful when you are removing this retainer. So this first retainer is removed from the motor. Now we have to do the same thing for the second retainer, which is on the back side. So let me show you in close up that how it looks. It is also of same type. No, this one is also of same type. The only thing is it is pretty broad, okay, and the clip over it is over here. If you see over here, this is the clip. So we have to place our screwdriver, flathead screwdriver over here, and push it down and then away from the retainer, away from the motor. So let me do that part also. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to show you that on the camera, but you will get an idea. And this one also came out without any problem. It's stuck, but maybe do the one side is removed, but it's stuck in the second side. So I'm just going to push that second side and remove it. And here you go. So this is the second retainer. So now these two retainers are out. Now our next step is going to be pretty straightforward, and that one is basically removing this motor. Now for removing this motor, I am going to use this picture to just show you that how exactly we are going to remove it. So as you see over here, this is the motor, that is that motor. Now the first retainer, the front retainer was over here, and the second retainer was over here. The rear retainer was here, which we have already removed. Now there is a shaft which is going to the body of the dryer, that is this one. It is a white color one, which I will show you in a bit. And then there is a spindle over here, which is this one. So what you have to do, I'm going to use two things. One is the wrench. This one is number 11 wrench, which I'm going to put over here like this, okay, and I'm going to push it clockwise. Remember, to remove this one, you have to rotate it clockwise, not anti-clockwise. All right, and the rear one you have to rotate anti-clockwise, that is this one. And for rear one, I'm going to use the adjustable wrench because it is hard to place area. So it will go like this on that white color spindle, like this, and that will be anti-clockwise and this will be clockwise. And you have to give little bit of push on this one because it is pretty tight, right? So that's how it is going to work. So remember, this one is clockwise and that one is anti-clockwise. So finally I was able to remove this motor from the blower wheel casing, and it took me a while to remove this one, but while removing this one I found that there was a crack in the blower wheel. Of course, it was not this big when I observed it. So finally I was able to remove this motor from the body of the dryer. As I mentioned to you that I saw the crack over here, and because of that crack I decided to remove this dryer blower wheel and replace that one too. So it took me a while to replace this dryer blower wheel from the motor body, and as of now also I'm not able to detach this part of the dryer blower wheel from the motor. So I would suggest, in case if you face the similar issue, just get rid of the wheel, order this wheel which is around 14-15 bucks, and you will have the new motor as well as the new wheel in the dryer. So the way it was attached is like this. It was like this, and this wheel was on the back side of the dryer. So now I'm just going to replace the new wheel, replace the old wheel with the new dryer blower wheel, and also replace the motor. And because of that, it is going to be not that difficult to replace over here, because now it's very easily accessible and everything is going to be new. Now next step in our repair process is basically swapping the old motor with the new motor. And as you see, I have received the new motor. This is the new motor, and this one is the old motor which we forcefully removed from the dryer body. And if you compare both the motors, they are exactly same. Everything looks good. It is same make and model, and same spindle shape also, except this one, the new one, has a plastic covering over here, whereas this one, the original one, has the metal one. But otherwise they looks identical. And in addition to that, I also received the dryer wheel, that is this blower wheel, whatever you have to call it. And this one is the original one which we removed. And if you see, the fins and everything looks exactly the same. So now the next step in this process is basically installing it. So we know that this wheel or blower wheel is going to go over there from the rear side, okay, and then it is going to get connected to the motor in the front over there. So it's just like this one. So this will go and this will get connected over here like this, right? Now we have to reverse the entire process the way we have removed it. So as you see, while removing, we have rotated the blower wheel anti-clockwise, and the motor shaft clockwise, like this, right? Now in this case, for the reinstallation or for swapping the old one with the new one and installing it back, instead of the rear wheel, for removing it, it will go clockwise, and this one will go anti-clockwise. So we have two options. One option is just place this wheel from the rear side of the driver like this over there, and then rotate the motor shaft anti-clockwise, and it will get threaded over here like this. So let me place this blower wheel over there, and then we will place the motor on the stand, and then attach both of them. So I place the blower wheel from the rear side of the body of the dryer like this, and now our motor spindle shaft, this shaft is going to get attached over here. Now for that, it is always better to have a second pair of hands for your help, so that they can push the blower fan from the rear of the body of the dryer and rotate it clockwise. That fan, if they rotate clockwise, it will get connected over here. Now here I'm doing all by myself, so I'm going to place this motor over here. This is what the holder of the motor, and then these clips will go on the motor the way we removed it. So if you see, there is a notch over here, this notch. So you have to remember that you have to place the motor in that notch. So on the spindle there is a notch over here, so this motor gets placed not like this, but this motor will get placed on this body like this, and that notch has to match in that one. So if I should show you something like this, so basically first push this hole, push this shaft, and then adjust the motor in such a way that it goes into this groove. And as you see, this is a dry fit which I have done. So this notch which I was referring, this should be in this, the motor shaft notch should be on the should be resting on the this support groove over here. And now this motor is not moving anywhere, so now I have to just tighten it. But before that, what I'm going to do is, since it is loose, I'm just going to rotate it little bit and put the wire harness over here the way it was there. And then once the wire harness is in place, then I will tighten out these shafts once and for all, so that it is going to get ready. Now to attach this wire harness, just lift this motor and rest it like this, so that you have the enough space to attach it, and it always goes in the same direction. So there is, it won't go like this. So there are notches over here which clearly shows that it is going to go like this only. So take your time and make sure that it goes in this notch. I don't know whether you could see it. There is a notch over here. This one. So this wire harness gets attached over here. This notch is on both the side, here as well as on the bottom also. So when you click it, this will get engaged. This entire wire harness will get engaged. So first match the wire harness like this, and then just push and make sure that it gets engaged on both the ends, here as well as on the bottom. You just feel it and you'll know that it got engaged. So then once it is done, the wire harness is in place. Again, place the motor the way it was earlier. Make sure that this notch matches with the support frame, and now we have to just tighten this one. So the way I'm going to tighten is that basically this I will hold, I will make it anti-clockwise. This I will rotate anti-clockwise and that one clockwise. So it is going to be tight. I'll take the wrench, place the wrench over here, and I'll make sure that it is going in the other direction, that is clockwise direction from this side, and I'll take the other wrench, place over here, and this is anti-clockwise. And as you see, the motor is not moving, that part is not moving, and I am able to tighten this one, and that's it. So now this is not going to go anywhere. So once again, I put the wrench over here, hold it like this, and I was making sure that this is going in the clockwise direction like this. I was holding like this, and using this one I was making sure that it is fully, and this is now tight. So now motor is in place and it is rotating very nicely also. So ideally most of the part is kind of done. Now we have to add these clips the way we have removed it. So basically this clip will go over here and they will get attached into these knobs on the back side. So let me do that one. You could do it front clip or whatever it is, right? So I'm going to take the I'm going to do it for the rear clip. So first match the notch and then let me see if I can show you. Oh yeah, you can see now. So as you see over here, there is a notch. So I have to just press the and yes, it clicked very nicely. And now we have to repeat the same process for the front clip also. That is this one. Now I'll repeat the same process for the second clip also. Match the hole, notch, and then over this one, and it has to go on both the side. So you have to push this one using the flathead screwdriver like this. And that's it. As you see, it's tight now. So when you rotate, it is rotating very nicely and things are moving nicely. Let me show how the clips are holding the motor body with the casing. So as you see over here, this is first one on this side and the second one on this side. So this entire clip, which is in tension, holding the motor onto the dryer casing. And same thing is happening on the rear one also. It is going through this and on this side also. Over here you see. So now this motor is not going anywhere. The wire harness is in place, and now it is from this point onwards it is pretty much straightforward. Now what we are going to do is we are going to install the drum and the tensioner pulley, and like this. Tensioner pulley will go like this, the way we removed it earlier, and we'll place the drum on these supporting rollers. And these rollers are also new rollers now, they are moving very nicely. So once that is done, then I will show you the back side of the dryer, how to install the cover and all those things. So let me now start putting the drum over here using the belt. Now place your roller around the drum. Make sure that the groove end of the roller is on the bottom, not like this, but it should be on the bottom. Now carry this entire roller to the area where you are installing it, like here. Okay, the way we removed it, we have to now just repeat the exactly opposite steps to take it like this. Reverse the steps, pass this through the notches which I showed you earlier, so that the roller goes inside the body. Now from here Now it is placed like this. For timing, you can put some kind of a support at the bottom so that it is like this. And now we are going to put the belt over the motor as well as the tension pulley. So what I will do is I will put some kind of a cushioning over here at the bottom so that I can keep this roller steady. Now as you see, it is not correctly placed. This roller has to be placed on the like this, on the rollers, supporting rollers. This is the right way. And I will put something over here and place the install the belt. So for support, I'm using this cardboard box, and it is keeping this roller very nicely in this and on the supporting rollers, basically right side as well as the left side supporting roller. That frame is also very nicely sitting on the body, just like that. If you have the helping hand, always ask them to hold this drum on the back side so that you can install the pulley over here. Now we have to just pass the pulley through that tensioner and to the motor. Now place the tensioner pulley like this, like this. Bring the belt underneath this tensioner pulley like this, and now this loop should go over here, okay, and that's how and for that you have to just bring this like this, and you will have some leverage too. So now you see over here, it is going through this tensioner pulley, loop through and onto the shaft. That's it. So now arrange this belt systematically and make sure that it is rotating. So I'll remove this. And the belt is rotating very nicely on the supporting pulleys. Next step is going to be installing the front door. The way we removed it, we have to match the notches on the front door with these hooks on both the sides, and the front door will get in place. And in addition to that, connect the wire harness of the front door with this wire harness, and then install the 2 screws from the inside over here. So then the drum will be steady and it is completely done. Then we will go for the next step. So off camera, I've done couple of things. As I mentioned earlier, I've connected the wire harness and this screw over here using the nut driver, and on the other side also the same thing. And if I show you, if I rotate the drum manually, I'm able to rotate it without any problem. And it is resting nicely on the right and left pulley, which I cannot show you here, but right supporting pulley over here and left supporting pulley over here, and the bale is going through the motor. Now next step is closing this top cover and then installing the back panel. Now ideally we should have been done by placing the 2 screws over here, but as you see over here, to get the access of the rotary wheel, I have removed the duct from here, from the back side. So now I have to install that duct first and then place these 2 screws over here before placing the filter over here. So let me show you that how to install the duct which I removed earlier. So this is the duct which I removed from the back side to get the access to the roller. So the wheel was over here now, and the screws which I was referring to, we usually place these screws over here. This comes on the top. Now if you look at this one, this entire housing foam is kind of crumbling over here. It was placed over here, which prevents the lint to come out into the dryer body. So I'm going to replace that foam also, as well as the foam which was over here. So I'll remove this thing, whatever it is, the residue, and then install these new foams. This foam will go over here and this foam will go over here, right? So let me install that one, and then I will take this entire duct to the dryer body to get installed on the dryer body from the back side. So the foam will go over here, this casing foam will go over here. As you see over here, this old one is coming out and it is really in bad shape. So I'm going to remove this, clean this up, and then start installing this foam around this area, so that when the casing goes over here, there is no gap between the casing and the back panel of the dryer. Okay, one foam is in place, not that difficult, simple, just peel and stick, kind of looks nice. Now I'm going to do the same thing for this blower assembly also. Remove this one, the old one, and then install the new foam. I'm going to put the link of all these products in the description below. So let me remove this and install this foam too, and then we are ready to install the back cover. So the residue around the blower housing has been removed. I've used this Goof Off Pro Strengthen Remover. Just you have to wet it in the paper napkin and just remove it, and it will come very nicely. As you see, it came out very nicely. Now I'm going to install this blower housing foam seal, which is this one. Again, it is a pretty straightforward thing, peel and stick. So you have to just peel it and stick it around this housing, so that this also looks similar to this one. Okay, this sealing is also done. It looks nice. So now we're ready to install the back panel of the dryer. And the reason why we removed this back panel, because to install this wheel. Now with these seals are in place for the blower as well as the casing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to install this entire thing over here. So this will go inside, tilt the machine little bit, and then this particular casing at the bottom, that will cover the, let me show you, that will cover this blower assembly, that will cover this blower assembly, and then it gets attached using these 4 screws, 1, 2, 3 and 4. And over here also there are over here also it will get intact, it will get pushed onto the body, and then once we attach those 2 screws at the top, it will be one single piece. So let me install that one, but of course you have to tilt the body little bit on the front, so that you push this entire thing through here on the top. And as you see, the casing is in place. I've already attached these 2 screws over here, so it is not going to move, the top part. And now only thing I have to do is just match these holes at the bottom like this, and this entire thing will be airtight with the seals what we have placed on the blower assembly. So just take the nut and match the holes and tighten it. So 1 2 3 and 4, sorry, 1 2 3 and 4. So this casing is in place, and I've tightened up all these screws using the nut driver 1 2 3 and 4, and now it is not going to move anywhere, and it is very nicely fit on the seal which we have installed. Now the last part is basically cover this one and restart the machine. So I'll install the cover, and for cover there are 1 2 3, so total 6 screws on each side, and there is, I think, top 2 screws. Okay, so the back cover is also in place using the screws as I mentioned, 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 8 9, and make sure that you install this plate also, because it covers the electrical wire over here. That's it. And now I'm just going to attach the duct from here to there and restart the machine to see that everything looks good. So things are in place, and I'm just going to see that whether it works or not. And it is not recommended to run the machine with door open, but just for testing purpose we will push this switch as if like the door is closed and try to run the machine to see that whether it runs. And as you see, the drum is rotating very nicely, no noise, and everything seems to be perfectly fine. So I'll just put the clothes in this one and try out the dry cycle. Thanks for watching, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and I will add all the parts, Amazon links, URLs in the description below. If you have any question, please let me know, and I will try to answer all of those questions on time.